Recording. So I'm going to go over what Joni taught me in Costa Rica, and some of the things that were like super mind-blowing and super crazy for me to hear. Basically, I have been doing a lot of things wrong. So you guys all know me. I'm always about learning from my mistakes. You guys should learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to share those mistakes with you. So basically the past year, and part of this was out of necessity, part of this was out of my personality. I am super socially awkward in person. I can do live stuff all day. I can go live with no makeup. I don't care. But face-to-face in person is really hard for me. And so I have been trying to run this how I've ran my other businesses, which is online. And I have not been having the success that I want, or the success that I think that I should be for how much effort I am putting in, basically. And after talking with Joni in Costa Rica, she made it extremely clear that the reason for that is because I'm online and because I am not doing things how they are supposed to be done per her words. So I actually got to talk to her twice. The first time was I was walking down to the beach to meet with her. I was her first appointment at 8 a.m. and she was walking up to go get food. And I passed her and I was like, see you in a little bit. And then I was like, she doesn't even know who I am. But she asked me to put on her necklace, which, by the way, you guys, never held that many diamonds in my life. But anyway, she asked me to put on her necklace. And then I was just down on the beach, enjoying the beach, looking for shells, whatever, because that's my jam. And she came down and found me on the beach and talked to me for probably at least 25 minutes. And then she was like, I have to go get ready for my appointments. She had no idea that I was about to see her in 10 minutes again. So I basically got dual talking time. And the first time that she talked to me on the beach, she had no idea who I was. It wasn't like a formal thing, but she was telling me how but all the new people basically right now do not have sustainable businesses and do not have good business plans because they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Joni said that she has been out of the field for 5 years. Her version of in the field is actually going and training people. So her talking a seminar or talking at Pit Stop or Sena celebrations, whatever, she does not consider that in the field per her thing. She said that she used to always be all over in the field, teaching people how to demo, teaching people the proper way how to demo. And she is not for the past 5 years because they've been kind of like all hands on deck trying, to keep the company afloat versus sell everything that they have and then they have nothing left. So she made it very clear that no one knows how to demo. And that's why I posted that video that Tamara did, because Tamara was at Sena Celebrations, which I believe was the very last weekend in December. And Joni taught how to demo to everybody. I talked with Tamara for a couple hours in Costa Rica. For those of you who don't know, Tamara is the girl that I always tell the story of. My first experience with SeneGence at Pit Stop, January 2017. She was my roommate. I'd never met her, nothing. We were only a few days away from both hitting Duchess at the same time. The difference was I went deep and she went wide. The difference is she had 3 times size the team I did. She was making 5 to 6 times the amount of money I was a month. And she got personally invited to go to the Crown Princess retreat because we both missed it by just like a week. I was not. Because of our different situation. I went deep, she went wide. She was proving that she was going to be a better leader and a better builder because she was already doing what you should be doing, which is focusing on your first line. So that's Tamara. Talked to her. She told me that just from switching her business to doing the demos, how she taught in that video, the video I think is about 15 minutes. You need to watch it. It's all about, if you're not comfortable doing makeup yet, that's totally fine. You can do a full face demo on the back of their hands without ever touching their face. One side is all skincare, one side is all of our products. And that is what a demo is. Showing people LipSense is not a demo by corporate policy. And by people who have success in this business, they would never consider just showing someone LipSense a demo. they would consider that wowing. Even if somebody like came to your house and you had the whole shebang set out and you only showed them LipSense, that's not considered a demo to women in this company who have long, successful businesses, which is what we all want. So Joni broke it down very clearly. It's like literally mathematical equations that go into how much you want to make and how much you can make. She was very clear. Also, another thing is like a demo is not like a party. It does not have to be 10 people. That's overwhelming. That's crazy. These are the exact numbers. I keep doing this because they're in front of me that I'm going to show you guys, even though you probably can't see. But these are the exact numbers that Joni and countless people in the company, let's use Sheila for an example, okay? Sheila has been a significant Sena seller since the day she signed up. Sheila is phenomenal. She has had a sustainable, amazing business for 19 years now, okay? She was like the 111th person to sign up with SeneGence, period. She is still killing it. She is still continually hitting Crown Princess every year. She is on every trip. She has a legit, sustainable business, okay? No, she's not monarch. She's not empress. She is not ruler. But, you know, I would rather hit Crown Princess every single year than hit monarch once or hit like ruler once. It's about being sustainable and not just like a flash in the pan. You ranked super amazing and now you don't do anything ever again. It's about having a business that is duplicatable and sustainable. I've said sustainable 500,000 times, but because in my opinion, there's maybe like 10 women on my whole entire Dominion who have a sustainable business. The rest of us don't, because the rest of us are not doing it properly. So, I'm going to go over these numbers first, and then I'm going to go over what I was taught at Pit Stop last year, 2017, what this business is supposed to look like, which, like I already said in the beginning, I have not done, partially because, you know, life has been crazy the past year. We sold our house, got pregnant, had, you know, baby, moved in with my parents. Like, just things happened. They're all excuses. It's all a bunch of bull crap, okay? It's just a bunch of bull crap. People freak me out. It's my issues, which I'm getting over, but it takes time. So Joni went over that a demo to her is 3 to 5 people, and the average demo in sales when done properly is $500. So that's $250 profit. So what your year should look like is 2 demos a week for 40 weeks a year. That would give you $25,000 in profit off of your product. So really that means you'd be selling, you know, around $50,000, but your profit that you take home is $25,000. That's giving you 12 weeks of vacation. That's giving you the whole entire summer off with your kids. That's not telling you to work 52 weeks a year, 5 days a week. Like, that is twice a week. Oh my gosh, sorry. Let me exit out, log out of Facebook. Otherwise, you guys are going to hear those notifications nonstop. So that is 40 weeks a year. So the average national MLM standard, whatever you want to say, is 1 in 5 people join when they are basically demoed properly, shown the true potential. Imagine if you're sitting down with a group of 3 to 5 women, and that's a small group. They're all sitting there. They all know what the other one's purchasing because you're all right there. And you sell 400, 500, 600, whatever dollars amount of product, they're instantly seeing how much money could be made and how relaxed and how laid back it is. You're not having this huge party, stressing out, whatever. It's just just 3 girlfriends hanging out. So the average thing is 1 in 5 people join. If you had 100% retention rate on that, that means you would have 80 new first line a year. 80 new first line a year. Now, if you're teaching them the exact same thing and you have 100% retention of that, don't worry, we're going to get into smaller numbers. But if you had all 80 of your first line doing the same thing you were doing, which is 2 demos of 3 to 5 people a week for 40 weeks a year, you would be making $137,000 off your first line commission alone. Okay? So if you divide that by half, and Joni did all this, if you divide that by half, so you say maybe you have 80 new downline a year, but only 40 of them are doing it, or say maybe you only have 40 people, whatever. The number is 40 instead of 80 new downline. You would be making $68,500 off your first line commission alone. Okay, if you divide that in half again, so you only have 20 new, not only, but you have 20 new downline a year who are doing this, you'd be making $34,250 off your first line commission alone. And that is not on top of the $25,000 that you would be making in profit off of your sales from demoing. So that is basically the magic thing that Joni talked and trained about, is that demo is the magic thing. I actually, when she was giving me these numbers, I told her, I said, those numbers are so unfathomable to people, like making that much money. It's just crazy to people. That money, you know, is like for other people in the company. And she looked at me and she was just straight faced. Like, you know, Joni, she's a very hard D personality. She doesn't joke. She's not playing around. And she just looked at me and she was like, if people were running their business how they were supposed to be running their business, they'd be making over $1 million a month in commission. And just stared at me. And I was like, what? And she's like, we don't have a cap on commission. Like, that's what it's designed to do. That's the kind of, it's designed to, as hard and much as you want to work, that's how much money you can make. It's up to you. And if people got off social media and were running their business how it should be ran, then they would be making way, way, way more. So that is the rundown of the amount of money to be made. And then I'm going to go into what Leslie taught us at Pitt last year, 2017. She said, this business is designed for you to work, you know, your week is like 8 to 10 hours a week, but you have the potential to be bringing in part-time to full-time income based off that. Working 8 to 10 hours. This business, I mean, I don't know which Jen is on, but the other 3 of you that are on, I know that you work your business more than 8 to 10 hours a week. And Leslie made it very clear at Pitt that it is not designed to take over your life. This business is supposed to make your life better, not stress you out more. I don't even know how many hours a week I work, because if I really were to figure that out, it probably would be like, I'd probably just cry and feel like the worst mother ever in life. But it is what it is, you know, learn from my mistakes. So Leslie said, you know, the 8 to 10 hours is including 2 demos a week. So however long you think your demo is, one of my girlfriends, Katie Hood, who most of you probably know, she just had a launch party for one of her downlines, and she said it was amazing. And it's basically the same exact thing that Tamara was saying, except instead of doing it on hands, they actually did it on their own faces. So they got there, they were told to come bare-skinned, barefaced. They got there, they had 2 bowls of warm water. If they had makeup on, they took it off with Foops. They went through, you know, the skincare. She said that she did not do the masks, but they could do the masks on their hand if they want. When they were done with that, they sat down at the table where there was foundation and blush and shadow sense and clean brushes, and they did their own makeup. And then when that was done, then the LipSense was brought out. LipSense was not even in the room. LipSense was not available for people to look at. LipSense was not available for people to touch. After everybody had done the other stuff, she brought out the LipSense, and then they put their LipSense on. Her downline had 7 people come to her launch party, and she sold over $1,000 worth of product. Okay. Imagine if that happened for all of your downline. Imagine if your downline had their launch party and they immediately saw how to demo properly and how much success can come from demoing properly. Not having LipSense on the table and everybody sit down and they're just staring at the LipSense. This is personal experience, y'all, okay? They're staring at the LipSense and you're like trying to talk about stuff and no one's listening because everybody's just already looking at the LipSense colors in the beauty book because they can see it in front of them and they're so excited and they're just like listening to you talk and it's like blah, 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 blah. No, They're engaged. They're putting makeup and doing stuff on themselves. They are learning how to use the product, asking questions. They're not just sitting there while you're lecturing at them. It's like a hands-on, you know, hands-on thing. They're doing it for themselves. And then after that, then they have the LipSense. Now their skin feels amazing. They did the skincare, they did the makeup, they have LipSense, and now they're gone for the day or for the night, whatever. And they're living in that for however many hours until they take it off. They're living in all of our products. So that's what a demo is. So Katie said that took around 3 hours for 7 people. So say you have 2 demos a week and they're 3 hours, that's 6 hours. Let's say it takes you, I mean, I'm pretty fast at setting up and breaking down now. It's time for the guys to eat lunch. Sorry. So I'm pretty fast at setting up and breaking down. It probably only takes me, I would say maybe an hour and a half total, probably like an hour with setting up and taking down for parties, demos, whatever. Not events, that's a different story. But so let's just say that 6 hours goes to 8 hours because it's taking you an hour for each demo to set up or whatever. That still leaves you 2 hours a week of that 8 to 10 hours of where you are following up with those customers. You're making sure they like the product. You are available for questions. And then the wowing that you're doing, wowing should just be part of your life. Like, yes, if you want to just leave your kids with the husband, yep, leave your kids with your husband and walk around the mall or the store or whatever and wow and talk to people, absolutely you can do that. But how this company is designed is that you are naturally networking, okay? You are meeting friends. You're going to the park. If you have, you know, I'm speaking for myself, but you're going to the park. You're setting up play dates. You are, you know, involved in church or sport or an extracurricular activity. Or if you don't have kids, you are, you know, involved with your coworkers. You're not just showing up, going to work and leaving. You're getting to know people. You're making relationships. You're actually talking to the person who's taking your order in and out. Okay, I can't tell you every single time I go to In-N-Out, I give out business cards and stuff. You are genuinely interested in humans, which if you're like me, that's hard, okay? But fake it till you make it. It's not that I don't care about humans. It's just I'm extremely weird and awkward. I've had Kevin and my mother recently tell me that I need to work on how I talk and my tone and pitch because I just have such bad RBF that I look angry at them. Yeah, I'm like, I'm really excited. And they're like, no, when we get taught, like, you don't know what LipSense is? Like, oh my gosh, blah, blah. She's like, you look like you're telling them that they're so stupid. Not that you're excited to tell them about it. You just look like you're such an idiot. You don't know what LipSense is. So we're working on that. Have other people critique your pitch because you may think you're killing it and wonder why those people don't ever call you. And in reality, you just sound like a total hardcore jerk face. And that's why no one's calling you. So that working those 10 hours a week can bring in, you know, if that's $500 profit a week, if you're doing the $500 in sales per demo. So I don't know what that math is. Hold on. Oops, that's 500. So that's $50 an hour. If you are doing $1,000 in sales a week because you're doing those 2 demos, that's $50 an hour if you're working 10 hours. Profit. That's not taking the $1,000. That's just taking the 500 divided by 10. Okay, that's good money to be making $50 an hour. Even if you double that you're making $25 an hour, like that's still good money to not have a job that like you hate. So that's kind of the little spiel on, you know, how we should be working our business. I think all of you who watched Tamara's video, for those of you who are watching the recording, I will link Tamara's video into wherever I post this so that you can go watch it. And that video is meant to empower you for if you're feeling like I can't put makeup on people. I don't know how to put makeup on people. I don't even know how to put makeup on myself. You don't need to put it on anybody. You don't need to touch anybody's face, which you shouldn't, by the way. You should never put your skin on someone else's face, FYI. You can do it on both of their hands, and they still can experience everything. And their hand all day you know, the foundation, the blush, the eyeliner, it will all be there. So now I'm going to go really quickly into your team and what you should be doing for your team, if you should have a team page, if you should be training your team, all of that sort of jazz. So Joni, you know, asked me how much time I spend on my team, and I laughed, and I was like, I don't know, like I'm basically on call 24/7. And she did not like that at all. And she was like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I do an hour training every week. I'm like, you know, I haven't for the past few weeks, but the plan is an hour training every single week, minimum. Let's be honest, sometimes like an hour and a half or 2 hours, but hour training locally, whatever. First of all, I got ripped a new one for only doing local trainings. Not my fault, you guys. It's monkey see, monkey do business. Everybody in the Crown Princess group says never stream your local trainings because then no one local will come. So I was just doing what I thought was right. And Joni basically told me, have you ever heard the saying, you're never queen in your own castle? And I was like, you know, no. And she's like, local people are not going to, you know, not everybody, but most local people are not going to take advantage that they have a crown princess or they have a duchess or they have a countess in their area. You're not that special to them. But the people further away from you, they will listen. They will hop on. This is a perfect example. None of you are local to me. So, perfect example of who, you know, wants to show up and wants to be there. And that sounded wrong. Not who wants to show up and wants to be there, but just, it's different. If someone comes from out of state or something, it's more exciting than someone who comes from the next city away. It just is, okay? It just is. And so all of my trainings on Tuesdays will now be streamed, FYI. But she's like, okay, so you are doing an hour training a week, perfect. Now, the next thing you should be doing, she drew this out for me. I don't know if you guys can kind of see. There's this in the back office, and you can like print this off and update it every month, but you put yourself at the top, and then, or you could just do it by yourself on a piece of paper. But then you draw out where your ranked people are. So maiden and above. She had a print off of all of my downline, maiden and above, and we went through, and she was like, where is Christina? Where is Brittany? Where is Robin? Where is Michelle? And I told her like, oh, she's under her, and we drew it all out, okay? This is Christina. So Christina's gone. She says she's on her own, you know, she's her own dominion now. She's handling all of her girls. What's left is my team minus Christina's team. And she says that the only other training you should be doing for your team is when you have someone on your first line. So keep in mind that, let's say someone on your first line is inactive and she's really on your second line, but she's the one like who's ranked and is growing her team, then count her as your first line. So this doesn't literally mean only your first line. This is more figuratively. I have a ton of second line girls who I have adopted on my first line. They're in my first line group, my first line chat. You know, it is what it is. We have been offering the business wrong. I'm going to tangent off really quick. This kind of goes back to the demoing thing, which I forgot to say. You only have two options when you are purchasing. Per Joni, per Tamara, which, you know, obviously Joni taught Tamara. You have two options. Your option is do you want to sign up to be a distributor for yourself, your friends, and your family, or do you want to be a customer? There is no, oh, you can have 20% off anything. You don't have to sell. You don't have to worry about it. And then hoping that they become a powerhouse. Has that happened in the past? Absolutely. Do we have huge people in the company who that happened to, like Katie Enos? Yes. She told her upline, I am never selling ever. This is just for my personal discount use. Okay, but that's not sustainable. It is not sustainable to offer a 20% off discount for anybody, no matter, you know, and never put into their mind to be a distributor and to just pray and hope that they turn into this powerhouse. Like I did that, okay? Again, monkey see, monkey do. That's what I did. That's what I was taught. And I literally went down to 0 customers, 0. And I had to rebuild everything back up because every single one of my customers were just you know, 100 PV order every 6 month people now, which means not only did I lose those sales, but I lost the ability to and offer them having a hostess party so that they can get bigger discounts, offering them hostess parties, having them get friends get together to play with makeup, because they were doing that on their own now, but not in a business aspect. So I lost all of their network. If you think of it kind of like, you know, when you skip a rock in a pond, I took away that rock. Like, I lost that ripple of everything that they could have brought to my business. They have no intention and they don't want to grow the business. And I lost all of those connections and all of those networking opportunities because I, you know, offered her having 20% off anything that she wants to order, versus putting it in her head that she is a distributor for herself, her friends, and family. You're not coming to somebody and saying, hey, you can grow this business and become a millionaire, or you can be a customer. You're simply saying you can be a distributor for yourself, your friends, and family, or you can be a customer. That's not scary. You're letting them know that they will be a distributor, though, for themselves, their friends, and family. Those are all people they know. That's their warm market. They're not shoving anything on anybody. That's safe. You have to worry about freaking them out and telling them about growing an empire and being a lip boss. Like, it's not about that. But there is no such thing anymore as a 20%. Baby's awake? Yeah. Okay. Can you keep her happy just for like 5 minutes? No. Please? No. Please? I'll give you a lollipop after. Okay. You know, there's no more such thing as, oh, you don't have to sell anything, you have to do anything, it's just 20% discount. So, sorry, I should have said that earlier. So going on to this really quick is, she said the only other thing that you should be doing is when you have somebody who has 5 ranked people underneath them, so 5 maidens or above, then you are doing an hour-long power hour, whatever you want to call it, Skype, phone call, whatever, for their realm. Because if they have 5 ranked people underneath them, they're probably a royal. And once they're a royal, you have your own realm. And so just with their team, you do an hour-long phone call. So like my girl right now that I'm doing that with is Michelle. So just Michelle's downline and Michelle's realm, I will do an hour-long this or Skype or whatever she wants with her team only. So that is a motivator for your downline to help their teams grow, because they want the opportunity with you and they want to be able to get, you know, you on the phone and have you answer questions and stuff like that. But that's it. So then Joni was like, okay, and what do you do with the rest of your time? You know, and I was like, answer questions. And she was like, no. I felt like she was so disappointed in me. It was worse than my own mother. And I was like, oh. And she was like, what do you do with it? You know, and I was like, she was just staring at me. Oh, perfect. I have less 10 minutes, which I can't be that long anyway. And she's like, no, you work your business. And I was like, oh. And she's like, you have an hour-long overall training with your team that is streamed, so anybody can do it. And you have your power hours with your girls who have 5 ranked people below them. That's it. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted. So from there, you are working your business. You're demoing, you are meeting people, you're networking. That's that. So Joni did not say this, but a bunch of other leaders I talked to in Costa Rica. Okay, 2 minutes. A bunch of other leaders I talked to in Costa Rica, we all talked and agreed on, like, there is no rule that you shouldn't have a team page unless you're like a countess or whatever. I used to think that was an actual rule from corporate, and it's not. But there is no reason to have a team page. You can have a first line group, absolutely, because you should always be in contact with your first line. You should always be there for them. That's different. But having a team page where you are training, there is no need for that. You should be focusing on your business. And if you're not focusing on your business, then your business probably is not going to be as sustainable as it should be, because you're wasting your time training your team. You have a crown princess, you have an empress, you have a monarch, you have literally thousands of videos that these girls can go find on their own and train themselves with. And if you are just redoing people's trainings, then you are just wasting your own time. So that is, I can get more into that later. If you have questions, let me know. But basically that was, you know, a big thing that we talked about of if you spent all your time that you spent getting prepared for your trainings, thinking about your trainings, talking to your girl about trainings, like whatever, and doing your actual training on your business instead, think about how more successful you'd be. Joni straight said to me when I said, that's it, I'm just doing the one team training and the one other, you know, power hour. That one power hour will eventually turn into more when you have more people who are ranked. And she's like, yeah, she's like, cause listen, she's like, your first line are either going to do it or they're not going to do it. Your second line, they're either going to do it or they're not going to do it. They have access to everything. They have access to your Crown Princesses team, who she's doing trainings for sure. So they're either going to show up and listen to those or they're not. And so you don't need to be wasting your time trying to put together these amazing trainings to get your team involved and to get your teams in it, because they're either going to do it or they're not. So stop wasting your time on trying to get your team to do it and focus on just doing your own business, and your business is going to grow, which will mean your team will grow, which means all of it will happen naturally. So I'm going to just look at questions really fast because I literally can hear her screaming through the house. Yeah, Sabrina, it was really intense. Yes, okay, yes, do the skincare, definitely. I can't wait to hear how that goes. If you guys have any questions, you can message me or something. Gotta go. Love you guys so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.